It's a must-win tonight for the Cowboys and Redskins. We're joined by Rob Parker. Welcome, Rob.
What's happening? Good morning.
Good morning.
Great to be here.
Oh, yeah.
Especially Skip.
Rob, how important is tonight for Dak Prescott?
It's important, Skip. You know that.
Hear him out, Skip.
Hear me out on this.
Yeah. Come on.
The best
we need some hate.
You ready?
Yeah.
The best way to describe Dak Prescott, of late,
Yes.
is a right-handed Tim Tebow with a really good tan. That's how bad Dak has been.
Call him a right-hand Skip. Are you going to stand for this?
Right-handed. It's my turn.
Right. That's how bad he's been.
Wait, you mean they're going to win the division?
No.
That's
Well,
not
Tebow
going
won
to
the
happen.
division, right?
That's not. We're talking about the quality of play. And
so they're going to
Shannon,
win a playoff game this year?
as much as people like to, rip on Jerry Jones and whatnot, Jerry Jones was right. This is why Jerry Jones last year, even when they were winning all those games,
Skip.
was going, wait a minute, Tony Romo, because he knew, Skip, that Dak's success had a lot to do with great offensive line, star running back, had him not do that much, don't put him out there too much so that he couldn't turn the ball over, as limited as possible. And you know what? This is why Jerry never bought in, even when they were winning all those games. And now that he doesn't have the best offensive line, doesn't have the star running back, and you're asking him to do it on his own, he has, in the last few games, 500 yards, 0 passing touchdowns. He has 3 fumbles.
8 turnovers.
And 5 interceptions. He has looked awful. And there's no other way to describe what Dak has done other than to say he's been, in the words of Charles Barkley, terrible.
So would you call him a bust then?
No, I just think that he has been exposed.
Oh, well, he's
This
a bust.
is the guy. That's
what you call a bust.
He's been exposed that he isn't the guy that we thought he was a year ago.
Well, did you think he was?
No, I didn't. I always had hesitation, but a lot of people bought in.
Really?
And it was all about Dak. Yeah, he's got all these national TV commercials. They might change their mind now.
Flash in the pan, one-hit wonder.
Well, he's like a flasher.
Yeah.
He showed a little something last year, then covered back up.
Didn't Jerry also want to draft Johnny Manziel and Paxton Lynch and Connor Cook?
Yeah, but he was right about this.
Oh,
Maybe not those things.
I don't even want to go after Rob. I don't want to go. I want you to go.
You go.
No,
Call on. I want you to
I don't
call
want
on.
you. I don't want to go.
So, Rob Parker, I have a question. Are you aware of this statistic that with Sean Lee in the defensive lineup over the last 2 years, the Dallas Cowboys are 18-4? And you know who the starting quarterback was in all those games, those 22? Those were Dak Prescott games.
Who's starting running back?
So thank you for bringing that up, Shannon Sharp. Who was the starting running back this year with no Sean Lee in the lineup against the Rams and the Packers at Jerry World? Help me out. Was Zeke in the game? Did he take those games over?
Who's the starting middle linebacker in that playoff game for the Dallas Cowboys?
Well, I told you. I included that in the 18-4.
Okay.
Okay, but was Zeke in that game? What did he do in that game? Help me out. Did he take the game over?
No.
Dak Prescott was sensational in that game. They're down, 21-3, and he brings them back to 28 all and 31 all.
It's easy to play when you're behind.
He threw for 300 plus and 3 touchdowns.
Joey opening up a restaurant now.
So this is highly amusing to me because Dak Prescott for 16 games, let's do 17, although he didn't really play in the Philly game. So let's do 16. 16 games last year, and the first 8 games this year, Dak Prescott wasn't good. He was great. And I don't throw that word around loosely because he had the greatest rookie quarterback year I have ever seen. And if you can find a better one, God bless, because I don't think you can.
Yeah, but you
Russell
can't.
Wilson won a playoff game.
But you also can't deny that he had a great offensive line, which you got to admit, Skip, and he had a great running back,
Do you know
which
how hard?
helps.
Do you know how hard that position is to play for a rookie 4th-round pick with Tony Romo looking over your shoulder? And all he did was make play after play after play. Go look at the 2 Washington games last year and tell me who the star of the game was. Was it Zeke? No, it was Dak making throw after third down throw after clutch throw after key play. Legs and arm, he made play after play. He was unbelievably good, and the QBR screamed that he was the best in the league all the way.
But talk about the here and now.
Okay, for 8 games this year, I'll talk about the here and now. Dak Prescott wasn't good. He was great. Do you remember the Arizona Monday night game? Were you saying he was a bust after that game?
No, but
he
did
made
you watch the
3 plays in
Thanksgiving
a
Day
close
game, Skip?
Thanksgiving this year.
Yes.
Okay.
Did you watch that game?
Here's the point. With no Sean Lee this year, they are 0-5. And in the second half of the 5 games with no Sean Lee on defense, and I didn't second guess or third guess, I first guessed. The defense is built around that guy in the middle, and I campaigned for them. Go get Revis. You got a bunch of babies playing in the secondary. Go get Antonio Cromartie. Nope. We're going to stick with Rod Marinelli's scheme because it will prevail. It's really the star of the defense is the system. Baloney it is. So you take Sean Lee out, and what have they been outscored in the second half of those 5 games? 114-22. Have you ever heard of that? A defense getting outscored 114-22 in the second half of 5 games without its leader and its driving force?
Can I ask you a question? Who's responsible for that 22?
For the 22.
Yeah, how come they only have 22?
They don't have the ball. So in the last 2 games, on Thanksgiving and the Philly game on Sunday night, second half time of possession, 19 minutes for the 2 opponents, 11 minutes for Dak's offense. Wow, is that somewhat his fault? Well, what happens is they get so far behind that now he gets desperate, and most of those turnovers came out of desperation, especially the 2 against the Chargers. They're down. It's hopeless. And he throws a touchdown pass and hits Des Bryant, who's just a disaster this year, right in the hands, and he dropped it or failed to catch it.
Skip.
And then he throws a pick 6 on the 2 plays later. Great.
Really? If you don't mind me asking, you mentioned those 23 games that Dak Prescott has played. He's been the greatest. Can you tell the people at home in those 23 games that Zeke has played with Dak, how many yards Zeke has rushed for?
What is going on
here?
You
have a cold?
It's a little breezy here.
It's Shannon's tell.
Wait a second.
When he thinks he has like a really
You know what I think?
stat,
Is that what that is?
I actually think you start crying how bad your arguments are.
Here's the
seriously.
Here's the thing. The way they built
I'm missing something.
The way they built this offense is they built it to run the football, and then they dictate and determine when Dak throws it. Now you remove Zeke. Zeke is over 2,300 yards in those first 23 games that Dak played.
But that's an average of 100.
Yeah. Who was the offensive star of the game against the Rams and the Packers? Help me out. Let's go back. Those are the 2 games. There was Zeke. Zeke played.
I'm in the restaurant business now. Would you partner with me?
Yeah.
No overhead. All we serve is hot dubs and hot eggs.
I wish you served Sean Lee because there was no Sean Lee.
I get the defense struggling without
Sean Lee. How good that Dak Prescott was against the Rams and the Packers? He wasn't good. He was great.
But Skip, no touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and 3 fumbles.
Let's look at what happened.
I'm just asking you about that. Those numbers, 0.
Okay. No Sean Lee at Atlanta.
But on offense, how does that affect the offense?
No Tyron Smith at Atlanta. He got sacked from his blind side. Do you know how hard how it hurts? How you get just discombobulated by blind 8 times. He got knocked down from the blind side.
That's his first time playing quarterback. He ever got hit in the back before?
Yeah, he's a second-year NFL.
But hold on, Skip. Hold on. Wait a minute. But guess what? You know what can stop a pass rush?
Yeah.
The ability to run the football. And when you don't have that ability and you ask him to do more than what he's capable of at this point in time of his career. I keep telling you this. Everybody sold out to stop Zeke. And they're still selling out. And they say, you know what? If this young man can pass for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, we'll walk to the middle of the field and shake his hand. How many times has he done that in a win, Skip?
Yeah.
There it is. I saw it. That's pretty good.
So, do you think Matt Ryan is any good? You think he's arguably like maybe the best? It's between him and Wentz in a lifetime, right?
No,
those 2? Am I right?
No.
So, Dak had to, without Tyron Smith, deal with Matt Ryan head-to-head and then Wentz in a lifetime head-to-head, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of hard when you have no defense. This is historically bad.
What about him scoring?
Wow.
Because the defense can't stop anybody, that doesn't
stop you from scoring. Why can't you outscore the other
team? Let me put this in perspective for you. This man who's in the Hall of Fame as a receiver, he is a tight end, but he was a hybrid, so he's a receiver. He has told me that Des Bryant is a broken down liability, that he is so over the hill, he is not quick anymore, he is not fast anymore, he cannot uncover even in single coverage on anybody.
But Skip,
okay? So think about that. And Jason Witten, the other security blanket receiver, he says he could now outrun him at age, what are you, 57?
49 and a half in my off-white, too.
And he says he could in those off-whites right now, he could go out and outrun Jason Witten. Good. So he's gone. So Cole Beasley last year led the team in yards and in catches.
Yep.
Led the Cowboys. They have completely taken him out this year. He is a disaster. He had 58 catches through 11 games last year. He has 28 so far through these 11 games. So now they just double Cole Beasley and say, no, you can't have him. Well, who's left? Terrence Williams? Really?
Skip.
That's it.
Dez was broken down last year.
Okay.
Jason Witten.
You know what?
is
Dez wasn't broken down in that playoff game against Aaron Rodgers because he came to play that day.
But in the regular season, Skip, he didn't put up no fantastic
Well, he
numbers.
missed 3 games.
Okay, and hold on. You thought Jason Witten got slower this year than he was last year? No. He's still the same guy. He's a possession guy. He's not going to strike fear at anybody down the field. But you keep telling me how many points and yards the defense is giving up, but you have yet to tell me how many points the offense has scored. Why can't Dak move the ball?
You understand? They lost their whole secondary. They lost the whole secondary.
Right,
What
but
they
we're
gotta do
still
with
talking about offense.
Okay,
But Dak is good at throwing the ball to the other team,
Okay,
though.
but last year, he is not.
Yeah.
Do you realize, wait a second, just 3 games ago in his career, we were talking about he was on an historic pace.
No, you were talking.
No, well, everybody was talking.
No, everybody.
Hey,
I
well,
wasn't.
Was it not a fact?
No.
Oh, so you're saying I lied about that? Want to go back and look it up?
I'm saying that.
Seriously, want to go back? Want to bet 9 cases of dew on that
I'm
stat?
saying with Zeke-
right here, right now, I'll bet you right now.
I'm
You
saying-
wanna bet?
9 cases.
Yes, 9 cases
I'm
of
saying-
the drink of Hennessy.
Whoa!
How about that dog?
Whoa!
Then go back
Right,
3
Shannon.
games and look up the stats. Historic pace of ratio of touchdowns generated to turnovers.
Can I ask you a question?
Historic
Can I ask-
pace.
if you don't mind me
Wow.
asking, if you don't mind me asking, can you tell the people at home who was his running back?
Well, for 2 games, he did not have Ezekiel Elliott, and he was still on a historic pace.
When he didn't have him?
Rams-Packers. He didn't have it. He was still on a
So
historic
Zeke
pace.
did not play. So did Zeke score in any of those games?
No, I'm saying he had him, and so what happened?
Yeah.
He didn't have Sean Lee in those
He
games.
had Zeke.
Yeah.
So all the time that he's had Zeke,
Yeah.
he's looked historic. When he hasn't had Zeke, he hasn't looked historic. He looked meteoric, as in falling to earth. I'm just saying, Skip.
I'm
the
just
numbers,
saying.
what is,
Okay,
And this is the reason Jerry Jones this is the reason, Skip. And
so
you
he
got-
made a mistake. He should have hung on to Tony Romo.
Well, but this is the reason that he didn't just embrace the kid and just say, oh, no, he's my guy. He kept hanging on win after win after win after QBR.
Rob,
That is
I
not
want-
the
I want
reason
this.
why
He
he's
did. He
hanging on
kept
to
hanging on to Tony Romo.
I
He
want
didn't
this
believe
on
it.
the record.
what do you want on the record?
Dak Prescott is a bust. I need that from you. That's what you're saying.
I'm-
He's a bust. That Jerry swung and missed. He should have.
Without Ezekiel Elliott,
Well, he-
Dak Prescott is a bust. B-U-S-T.
Okay.
Not the one that's in Canton.
Right.
I think he's closer to Canton. You know what? I'll just leave it at this. You two are going to be made to eat all your words soon by that.
Yeah,
kid.
Hold on. When Zeke comes back, all bets are off. I'm talking about without Zeke.
Right.
9 cases of Hennessy is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, without Zeke.
So
That's not just the
are
bottle.
we saying that Willis McGahee made Tim Tebow that year? Is that what we say?
Skip.
They did lead the lead in rushing.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. So I like your analogy. I appreciate that. Because
Did you like that?
Tim Tebow brought them from 1-4 to win the division and a playoff game against Ben Roethlisberger.
And Dak filled in for Tony Romo, and they won the division, won 11 straight. And then what did Tim Tebow do after he won that division?
Exactly. He's now playing minor league baseball and on TV. That's what
Well, he
he's
never
doing.
got another chance.
Right.
Hold on. The Jets not a chance?
No,
New
they didn't
England's
give him
not a chance?
No chance. Never got a chance.
Even
about
Bill
Philly?
Belichick.
Did he
No.
start another game?
No,
Did he get
no.
to start?
Colin Kaepernick hasn't been given a chance. Tim Tebow got 3 other chances.
No, he didn't. He did not.
He
didn't
was
go to
on
the Jets?
roster, Skip. He
was
was
not.
on teams. Yes, he was.
He didn't go to
But
the
in New
Jets.
York, did he start a game?
No.
Quarterback?
Colin
He wasn't good
Kaepernick is
enough.
not even on roster. He can't even get in the camp.
Well, all I know is it would be very disrespectful to those off-whites if you were to race Jason in them.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
you're going to crease them.
you like the off-white?
Those are sweet. Those are sweet.
Yeah.
That's the Virgils. The Virgils. And I ain't talking about Ted DiBiase.
I need a pair of those.
No,
Don't use this Sneaker Connect because it might take you like
no.
a year.
Hey, your boy need to get them sneakers for me.
Where's your sneakers? Okay. They're not here.
They're not here yet.
They're still not here.
We're waiting. We're waiting. Rob, thanks for joining us. Is it panic time for Russell Westbrook and the Thunder? We'll discuss that with Steven Jackson next.
It's Skip's fault.